Hey friend, let me guess. Last November, you found yourself doing exactly what I was doing, scrolling through all those Black Friday planner deals, hoping to find the perfect one that would finally make business planning work for you. Maybe you're a bit like me, a planner addict who has a whole shelf and maybe several boxes full of partially used planners or maybe not used at all planners, each one abandoned maybe after a month or two of using when life and or health had other plans. What if I told you that I finally found a different way, that this year I discovered how to approach business planning more like tending a garden with patience, care, and room for natural growth? Today, I'm sharing exactly how I transform my planning process to work with my body instead of against it. We're about to reimagine what business planning can look like when we stop forcing and start flowing. Welcome to Chronic Illness CEO, where we're ditching the hustle culture and rewriting the rules of entrepreneurship to work for us, not against us. I'm Jessica Brown, a business strategist who knows firsthand what it's like to grow an online business while managing chronic health challenges. If you're done with cookie cutter advice that keeps you trapped in the cycle of push, crash, and flare, you're in the right place. Each week, we'll explore practical growth strategies for creating sustainable success. So grab your cozy blanket, your favorite warm drink, and let's discover what's possible when we stop fighting against our bodies and start building businesses that truly support our lives. You know what I found myself doing at the end of 2024? I was searching the internet for the upcoming 2025 planners that would be on sale on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, including all of the stickers. I love planners. However, over the years, I've noticed this pattern. I plan big, I push hard, I crash, I recover, I feel guilty, and then I try again. Now, how that would look in my planners was nicely planned quarterly spreads and monthly spreads, and a lot of things crossed out or whited out because they didn't get accomplished in the week that they were listed under. And then I would get frustrated, feel like a failure because I didn't get it all done. And then I put my planner on the shelf for a few months before I started it back up again, only to have the same pattern rinse and repeat. I wanted 2025 to be different, to look different. I wanted a planner that would inspire and encourage me to look and tend to things differently. And that's when I discovered Cultivate What Matters. And friend, it changed everything about how I approach planning. If you hadn't heard of them, Cultivate What Matters is this amazing women-owned company with a mission that instantly resonated with me. They believe that your goals matter, and their aim is to help every woman live on purpose. What really drew me in was their garden theme. Instead of traditional corporate style planning with rigid SMART goals and hard metrics, they approached goal setting like tending a garden. And I decided to give their system a try, specifically their Power Sheets goal planner and their season by season weekly planner. I took their beautiful garden framework and adapted it specifically for those of us building businesses while managing chronic illness. Before I dive exactly into how I did all that, I want to be clear about something. This isn't your typical business plan that you would take to get funding. It's not even your standard annual planning with rigid revenue targets. This is something completely different. This puts your health at the center of everything because, friend, your health isn't just something to work around. It's your most valuable business asset. And if you're wondering whether this kind of gentle planning can really work, let me tell you, this is exactly how I planned and launched this podcast. It's how I'm building my business right now, one sustainable step at a time. So I have a bit of a confession. I'm not sure if this is going to sound familiar or not to you, but have you ever taken a time on a Sunday night to do a planning session where you sit down with your planner, your favorite pens, and maybe even some washi tape, because let's be honest, pretty planning supplies make everything better, and map out your perfect week? And then what happens? Monday comes around and maybe you wake up with a headache or your joints are aching or the brain fog is so thick that you can barely remember what day it is. Suddenly that perfect planned week starts falling apart, one crossed out task at a time. For years, I couldn't understand why I couldn't make planning in my planner work. In the corporate world, I often was responsible for setting timelines and putting a project plan into place and making sure we implemented everything on time and on budget. And I was really good at that. And yet, how come I was so bad at planning for myself and my own business? Was it a discipline thing? Did I need better systems? Or did I need to try harder? Like, what was going on? And I was constantly comparing myself to other entrepreneurs who seemed to have it all figured out with their perfectly executed quarterly plans and neat project timelines. But here's what I learned. Traditional planning methods weren't designed for bodies like ours. They don't account for the ways our energy fluctuates, not just day to day, but sometimes hour to hour. How a simple task on Monday might be impossible on Tuesday. The extra time we need for rest and recovery after pushing too hard. the mental and emotional energy required to manage our health alongside our businesses, and the unpredictability of flares and good days. And let's be really honest about something that most business coaches won't tell you. Those traditional planning methods, they were designed for businesses with predictable resources. But when you're building a business with chronic illness, your primary resource, your energy, isn't always predictable. When I was in corporate, I had a team. The project tasks were broken up and delegated. The timelines were not all on me to complete. What made me successful in corporate was the fact that I was able to successfully communicate and delegate and help manage the resources of my team. And yet, for my own business, I never took into consideration the fact that, hey, you're a team of one trying to do it all the same way you did in corporate. Yet that didn't work. And that's exactly why I fell in love with this garden analogy from Cultivate What Matters, because when you're tending a garden, you can't force growth. You can't make a seed sprout faster by yelling at it. Instead, you create the right conditions. You tend to it with patience. This is exactly how we need to approach our business. Not with rigid timelines and impossible standards, but with the gentle cultivation and intentional tending. Your garden planning might look different depending on whether you're in the survive, stabilize, or strengthen phase of your business journey. Just as we talked about in episode 6, the right strategy, right time framework, your approach to planning should match your current stage and capacity. When I first started working with the Power Sheets Goal Planner, I followed their process, but I added one crucial element. I looked at everything through the lens of effort and energy cost. Instead of just focusing on outcomes, I considered how much energy each goal would require and whether that aligned with my current capability. When they asked me to brainstorm about what I wanted from 2025, I didn't just think about what I wanted to accomplish. I thought about how I wanted it to feel. Not just the end result, but the journey itself. For example, when I was planning this podcast, I didn't just write down launch a successful podcast. Instead, I thought about, how do I want to feel while I'm creating it? What does sustainable content creation look like to me? How would I structure this podcast in a way where it doesn't drain my energy? What systems do I need to support me, especially during low energy periods? The shift in this thinking from outcomes to experience changed everything. Let me walk you through exactly how I adapted the Cultivate What Matters process for those of us with chronic illness. Number one, you got to prepare your soil or understand your foundation. In my Power Sheets, I took time to evaluate my current energy patterns, what worked and didn't work in 2024, the different areas of my life, what they call garden beds, health, work, relationships, spiritual growth, and what really matters versus what doesn't. You know what ended up in my doesn't matter list? Those vanity metrics on social media that used to stress me out so much. Instead, I focused on what truly mattered, like having energy for quality time with my family and friends. This prepare your soil phase aligns perfectly with the prioritized element of our 4P framework. It's about getting honest about your current reality and identifying what truly matters. Step number 2 is planting your seeds or setting those gentle objectives. Here's where I made a big shift from traditional goal setting. Instead of SMART goals with rigid deadlines, which I absolutely hate, I created what I call flexible objectives. Each one has 3 parts: a committed action, the reason why, and the desired impact. For example, my health objective isn't exercise 5 times a week or lose 20 pounds. Instead, it's prioritize my health so that I can have energy to love others as God has called me to do. See how different that feels? It gives you room to adapt while keeping you focused on what really matters. Step number 3 is create your tending plan. This is where the magic of my 2 planner system comes in. Yes, you heard that right. I actually use 2 planners. And let me explain why. The Power Sheets Goal Planner is for my big picture planning and quarterly check-ins. The Season by Season Weekly Planner is for my daily and weekly tracking. I know it might sound like a lot, but writing my goals multiple times actually helps me cement them in my mind and heart. Plus, it gives me regular opportunities to review and adjust as needed. Step number 4 is daily and weekly tending. So here's something I implemented that I borrowed from the Agile project management to create what I call monthly sprints. Instead of assigning tasks to specific days, I keep a running list of sprint tasks paper clipped into my current week. Then, and this is crucial, I use my weekly planner to track what I actually accomplished, not what I plan to do. I note things like energy levels throughout the day, when I did focused work, what activities energized me or drained me, and any health symptoms or patterns that I noticed. This isn't just planning, it's creating a record of what actually works for your unique body and business. Now you might be thinking, Jess, this sounds great, but isn't all this tracking and planning just another form of busy work? And yes, for some, It may seem like busy work, but this is something that brings me joy and clarity. I actually spend about 1 to 2 leisurely hours each month setting up my planners. It has become one of my favorite rituals. I'm either on the couch, in front of the coffee table, spread out with all of my boxes of washi tape and colored pencils and colored pens and sticker books while Tucker is looking forlorn at me across the living room because he can't be snuggled up next to me because the couch is a whole mess. Or I'm at my desk pretty much with the same setup. And during that process, I'm taking time to dream. I'm taking time to acknowledge what I have accomplished. And I'm taking time to really reflect and think about, is this sustainable? Is this keeping it simple? Or do I need to make some adjustments because my season is changing? And to me, that is my form of self-care. The weekly review, it takes me 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how creative I want to get. And because this is actually an energy giving activity for me, I definitely spend some more time with that. Probably a couple of hours because I just zone out and have fun with the washi tape. But here's the most important part. This system has completely transformed how I view productivity and success because I'm not pre-assigning tasks to specific days. There's no guilt when health challenges arise because I'm tracking what I actually accomplished rather than what I plan to do. I can celebrate progress no matter how small. And friend, this is exactly how I managed to finally launch this podcast after years of false starts by focusing on gentle progress, honoring my energy levels, and creating systems that work with my body instead of against it. All right, friend, I want you to try just one small piece of this. Think of it as planting your first seed. Grab a piece of paper or your favorite notebook and create what I call a garden dream page. Divide it into 3 columns. Column 1 is how I want to feel. List 3 to 5 words that describe how you want your business to feel in 2025. Not what you want to achieve, but how you want the journey to feel. Column 2, what drains me? List your current energy drains in your business and be honest. What activities consistently leave you depleted? And then column 3 is what energizes me? What business activities actually give you energy? Which tasks make you feel excited or fulfilled? That's it. Just notice these things. And by looking at all this is where you can begin to start refining your business to potentially look at minimizing the items that drain you or increasing the items that energize you or adjusting your strategy and plans so that way your business starts feeling like you would like it to feel this year. Take your time with this. This simple tool will help you get a picture of your current reality as well as help you envision a more sustainable future. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, yes, this is exactly what I've been looking for, but I need help implementing it, I got something special for you. Through our Sustainable CEO Strategy Day, we can work together to create your personalized, sustainable success plan. Think of it as having a master gardener by your side, helping you design your business garden in a way that works with your unique energy patterns and health needs. We'll look at your current systems, identify energy leaks, and create practical action plans that honors both your business goals and your health requirements. In your personalized sustainable business action plan, we'll create a customized planning approach based on where you are on the sustainable CEO pathway, whether you're in survive, stabilize, strengthen, scale, or thrive. Your plan will include specific recommendations for implementing this garden-inspired framework in a way that works for your unique situation. So visit chronicillnessceo.com to learn more and book your strategy session. Remember, just like a garden, your business deserves careful, intentional planning that allows for natural growth and seasonal changes. Hey, and if you're interested in the planners I mentioned, I got links to Cultivate What Matters in the show notes. Their Power Sheets Goal Planner and Season by Season Weekly Planner have been a game changer for me, and they might be for you too. Check them out and see if their garden-inspired approach resonates with you like it did me. In our next episode, I'll share the story about what happened when I had to completely cancel a major business event due to illness, and more importantly, how I broke through the shame of that to rebuild again. If you've ever had your business plans derailed by your health, or you wondered if it's worth trying again after another setback, you won't want to miss this honest conversation about finding your way forward when it feels like your dreams keep slipping through your fingers. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If you're loving this episode and want to help more entrepreneurs with chronic illness discover that they don't have to sacrifice their health to build a successful business, and it would also be a huge help for this new show, I've got 3 quick ways you can help. First, hit that subscribe button. It makes sure that you don't miss any upcoming episodes and lets this platform know that our content is worth sharing. Second, if you're feeling extra generous, leave us a 5-star rating and review. Those ratings and reviews aren't just nice to read, although they totally make my day. They actually help push this podcast up in the algorithm so other entrepreneurs with chronic illness can find our cozy little community. And finally, if you know another business owner who's tired of the push, crash, flare cycle, share this episode with them because, friend, everyone deserves to know that there's a better way to build a business that truly supports their life. Until the next time, I'm wishing you a gentle day.